So, ENTPs. I only have two ENTP friends, and they are very interesting and funny people. I will talk about them, and maybe people who are ENTP will find something similar with them. First, at the start, when I started learning about MBTI, the 16 types theory, and the tests, I was thinking that maybe I am ENTP because I was confusing extroverted intuition with extroverted sensing. Now, my ENTP friends, I will tell something about them that is different from ESTPs. Like, we would visit a mountain with my ENTP friend, and he was from that region. It was a very important for him to know all the mountain peaks, the names, the altitudes, all that information. Like, it was very personal for him to have that knowledge. And for someone who doesn't know a lot about personality, you would think that that is extroverted sensing. The way he is explaining the mountains, the altitudes, and how life is there. It looked like SE, but in fact, it was SI and NE. In my opinion, in my honest opinion, the all the different names, all and like he would find things to talk about each summit. So we were in the mountainous region. That is a bit different from SE, which will not focus on remembering every small detail of a region, but it is more large and more neutral. Like, he remembered all the details because it was his region. The other ENTP friend, he is very, he is older than me. He's 50 years old, and he recognizes the mistakes he did in the past. Like, he is very honest. He uses his TI to explain the mistakes and the errors he made in the past, and it's very interesting his behavior. Like, we did work in a institution together, and he was a security agent at the time, and he didn't care about people thoughts. He would mentor the agents that would work with the foreign students in France and refugees and people that are married to French guys and women. He would inform the agents each time the agent would make like a mistake. Like, he would explain, "You see, these people came and you didn't do this, and you should do like this. So you should." I could see in the face of the agent, like, he would get a bit disturbed because the security agent is teaching him and her how to do their job. So it was very funny. But this NTP who was at that time working as security agent, he was right. He was telling the truth, but he was not sensing the environment, and he was not sensing and or even caring about the agents that they didn't want to take advices from him. He didn't care about that. The other ENTP friends that is younger and it's great at remembering mountain peaks and summits and likes nature a lot. He sometimes did this thing. I would never do that. At least not in this time and this moment. He would go at the train station and would not look at the destination. He would take one train that may send him in the other part of the country. He would not care at all. He said, "I want this experience. I will enter and I will see where it will go. It was very funny. I want to know the destination. I want to know where I'm going. If it's a great place, I at least need to have some information. If it's worth doing it. But he didn't care. And one thing that is interesting about ENTPs, it is like a fear. Like inferior NI is at the ESTP's uh, fourth cognitive place, like for cognitive function. And for ENTPs, they have inferior SI. One of his fears is ending up alone, while that is not my fear. Because anyway, in any matter, we will be alone, we will die alone. That is not the point. The point of is leading a meaningful life, according to my perspective, of course. Well, but one of those fears is present at this friend. He also has a sarcastic humor, a type of humor who is very hard to support sometimes. Once, because he knew that I have a high testosterone level, if we can talk in that way, without needing to develop it. Um After I was explaining some stuff and he related to that topic, he made a type of joke that is very insulting. I wanted to punch him in the face, but since he was not conflictual, like he doesn't want conflict, so I tried to avoid punching him, but he deserved it at that time, at that moment. Anyway, he's a good friend. One thing I can say, this is the last thing about ENTPs, is even in our university, he would not care about other people's opinions or ideas. He would make sometimes some questions that may seem as weird in the class. He didn't care. He was funny. He made sometimes great questions and sometimes were stupid questions. So that it was funny because whenever he talked, you knew that there is a possibility for a funny situation, and it was interesting. Also, he doesn't get offended easily. In my case, it is different because maybe it's my culture, my origin, etc., etc. But in his case, even if you insult his family by name, his family female members, his mother, etc., he will not consider the person insulting. He will not consider that person a worthy human to have a discussion or to insult. He would consider that person as just a stupid guy that doesn't know what to do and is just insulting him. He will not care about that. While, to be honest, I sometimes got angry when someone insulted me it, in that way. Before ending this video, you need to subscribe, of course, if you can, because I need your help for my glorious purpose, which is making a better and greater channel that will lead eventually. I think it would be a podcast. Not only that, but maybe a podcast with great people. And when I mean great people, I don't mean rich people only, because someone may think of that, or famous people only. Uh, Last thing I can say about the NTPs is that they are not bound by the society's rules, except to a slight degree. Maybe it's because of FE child, but anyway, it's not a very developed function for many of them. But maybe I can say another thing. In sports, they are not as good as other personality types. If we can say that uh, personality has something to do with athletics uh, or it's not only that. Maybe it has to do with objective, like goal, being hungry in a game, competitive, having a strong desire to win a game, etc. He does not have that, but he's very correct. He would, like, we were playing in a game and he said, "I'm not great. He plays like shit. He always like shit. You are okay. He is very good player." Like, he would tell the truth even if it would be saying bad stuff about his type of play. So I respect that. I respect those type of people that are not obvious, are not obvious, or how do we say? I respect those type of people. And what do you think about ENTPs? And for those that are ENTPs, was I correct about those things I said? Do you have these traits of character, or do you act in this way, or it is just a limited perspective I had with two people that I have the same personality type? Anyway, if you want to know if you are ENTP or ESTP, or you must study cognitive functions and see the difference between NE and SC and SI and NI at both of these types. I will try to type people. I've done that a bit. I was correct for some, and you know what? It's not a problem. You can contact me if you want, and I will try to type you for free. Subscribe, brother or sister or friend.